Hey there! Today I want to share with you an amazing true story from the Bible about a young man named Joseph. A story about dreams, betrayal, forgiveness, and how even when life feels unfair, good can come out of it. Let's start at the beginning. Joseph lived a long time ago in the land of Canaan. He was one of 12 brothers. Can you imagine that? 12. Their father's name was Jacob, and out of all his sons, Joseph was his favorite. Jacob even made him a special colorful coat. It was like giving him a one-of-a-kind designer jacket that none of his brothers had. Now Joseph was a dreamer. Literally, he had big dreams that he believed came from God. But the problem was, his dreams made his brothers jealous. One night Joseph had a dream that one day his brothers would bow down to him. When he told them about it, they got so angry. "Who do you think you are, Joseph?" they said. They couldn't stand how much their father loved him. And now this dream? It was too much. One day Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers while they were taking care of the sheep far from home. When the brothers saw Joseph coming, wearing that colorful coat, they started to plot. They wanted to get rid of him. At first they talked about killing him, but instead they threw him into a dry pit. Imagine being Joseph. One minute you're bringing food to your brothers, the next you're stuck in a hole in the ground. Then they saw a group of traders passing by on their way to Egypt. The brothers sold Joseph to these traders for 20 pieces of silver. Just like that, Joseph was taken away as a slave. And to hide what they'd done, they dipped his coat in animal blood and told their father a wild animal had killed him. Jacob was heartbroken. He thought his precious son was gone forever. Meanwhile, Joseph was dragged off to Egypt, far from home, all alone, not knowing what would happen next. In Egypt, Joseph was sold as a servant to a powerful man named Potiphar. Joseph worked hard and did his best, but then trouble found him again. Potiphar's wife lied about Joseph and he was thrown into prison, even though he'd done nothing wrong. But here's the amazing thing. Even in prison, Joseph didn't lose hope. He kept trusting God, and God was with him. In prison, Joseph met two of Pharaoh's servants who had strange dreams. Joseph told them what their dreams meant, and he was right. A long time passed. Then one day, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had two dreams that no one could explain. That's when one of the servants remembered Joseph. They brought Joseph out of prison, and he listened to Pharaoh's dreams. Joseph said, "Your dreams mean that there will be 7 years with lots of food, followed by 7 years of famine when food will be very hard to find. You need to prepare now." Pharaoh was so impressed that he made Joseph second in command over all of Egypt, from a slave and prisoner to the ruler's right-hand man. He was in charge of storing food during the good years so everyone could survive the bad years. Just like Joseph said, the famine came. Back in Canaan, Joseph's family ran out of food, so his brothers traveled to Egypt to buy grain. Guess who they had to ask for help? Joseph. They didn't recognize him at first. It had been so many years. But Joseph knew exactly who they were. He could have been angry. He could have sent them away with nothing. But Joseph did something amazing. He forgave them. When Joseph finally told them who he was, they were shocked and afraid. But Joseph said, "Don't be afraid. You meant to harm me, but God used it for good, to save many lives." Joseph even brought his whole family to live with him in Egypt, so they would have enough food and be safe. So what's the lesson for us? Sometimes life doesn't go the way we want. People may hurt us. We may feel alone, forgotten, or unfairly treated, just like Joseph did. But Joseph's story reminds us that no matter what happens, we can trust that God has a plan. Even when people do wrong, God can use it for good. And just like Joseph, we can choose to forgive. So remember, when you're facing tough times, hold on to hope, keep doing what's right, and trust that good things can come. even from the hardest moments. Thanks for listening and watching to the story of Joseph, a dreamer who showed us that faith, forgiveness, and hope can turn any situation around. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring Bible story time told in a simple way. See you next time.